Hello, hello, and welcome back to round two. I think this one's going to be a little bit more fun than the last one because we're going to get into some of my experiences with being sold to, being the customer of an MLM. And this time, if nothing else, we at least have a slightly better setup going on rather than sitting on the floor. So without further ado, let's just get into it. My first experience with purchasing a product from an MLM company was, drumroll please, Kirby vacuums. My husband and I lived in California, and I don't know, these consultants, is that what you would call them, were making their rounds, and they would just knock door to door and see if they could do a demo. And someone came to our door and asked if they could do one. I was not home. And my husband said, my wife isn't even home yet, so maybe you can come back when she comes home. And they did naturally come back. Well, they started their whole spiel. They showed me all the things, and I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. I needed a vacuum anyway, and it did all the things. In fact, my mom and dad, maybe the year before, had purchased a Kirby. I did not know that they bought it from somebody else, just used or refurbished maybe. And I loved it. At this time, I had no idea that it was an MLM. I actually didn't learn that it was an MLM until years later. So anyway, I just kind of thought, all right, well, here's a pretty good vacuum. They showed me all the things, and let me tell you, it's impossible to get them to leave until they are done. So they do their demo, and okay, well, let me talk to my boss here. He'll come and give you, all the details after. I think they were there for at least 2 hours. And I had 2 little kids at the time. I wasn't super bothered. Now, if that happened to me, I would be incredibly bothered. But at the time, I just thought, I actually kind of like this vacuum. And you guys, I bought it. I don't know if I dare tell you how much I paid for it because I feel like such a sucker. But it was above $3,000. You guys, saying that makes me ill, physically ill. Do I still have this Kirby vacuum? Yes. Do I vacuum with it every single week? Yep. Does it work well? Yeah, it does. Was it worth $3,000? No, not on the best day. So I totally fell for the Kirby scam. Again, today, I don't think that I would. I have gone through a lot of phases of how I feel about multi-level marketing. Obviously, the last video, we talked about all of my experiences being in multi-level marketing. And I tried a few. And then after, I thought, well, it's really not for me. I don't like selling. That is just so not my personality. It never will be. Not into that. But I don't really have an issue with multi-level marketing. If somebody is selling a product, I think I mentioned this in the last video, if one of my friends was going to be selling a product, I absolutely wanted to support them over a big box store, Walmart, Sephora, Walgreens, Target, whatever. I wanted to support somebody who had young kids and that was in a similar situation as me. I have 4 kids now, and as most people know, or a lot of people at least know, it is so hard to work, make an income with young children. Once they start going to school, it's a little bit easier. It doesn't make it all better, but it's a little bit easier when they're in school. But I have a little 2-year-old at home, and I have had young kids at home for the last 11 years. So I get it. Like, I want to support those young moms or older moms or whatever. I want to support them. I know how hard it is to feel like you are contributing without working just to pay for childcare. So I get why MLMs are so targeted and so desirable to young moms, because you get to stay at home, you can work in pockets of time, it's easy, you just wear it and sell it or use it, and it advertises itself, you know, so many things promised. So, I mean, again, I fell into that trap multiple times. So, anyway, I've gone through phases of thinking, all right, it's okay. I'm not going to sell it, but I can support people. I can support. And so I did for a while, and I purchased maybe not a lot, but I would share and I would host parties and support them in ways that I could, sometimes purchasing things. But man, in the last couple of years, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, I have absolutely flip-flopped on my perspective of multi-level marketing, mostly because of videos like this. And I have followed and watched many videos about multi-level marketing, and it has just absolutely opened my eyes. So I know that in sharing my stories, I'm probably not going to convince anybody to leave an MLM. When I was in it, I was totally like, why are you guys so mean and so negative and trying to hurt our business? We're just out here trying to do our best. Like, why are you guys being so cruel and so anti? I did not understand why people would get on a post and say, I'm looking for a new mascara, but not an MLM, please. Like, why not an MLM? I did not understand it, but the more that I've learned about it and really like dived deep into it, I'm just completely floored. And it just makes me so sad for so many people who fall for the opportunity. And again, I did, and one time got kind of deeper into it before I realized, like, nope, I'm out. But so many people spend thousands on thousands of dollars to join and stay active in these companies, and they're promised, well, if you just sell and if you recruit, then you can make this much money and you can move up in ranks. The problem is that they don't tell you that you have to spend money every month or every quarter or whatever to be able to keep your rank. And if you are not at your rank, or if you are not, maybe not at your rank, if you aren't an active consultant, you aren't going to get any of your commissions. So if you haven't had anybody purchase from you, guess who's buying the product to stay active? You're buying the product. And then you either have to use it, gift it, or try to sell it, or you just eat it. Not like literally eat it, but you like eat the cost. It's just, I don't know, it's just sketchy, man. So anyway, my perspective has absolutely changed, and I still love the people who are most. There are some that can be kind of obnoxious, but most people I really don't think understand. And I think a lot of them are still, I don't even want to use the term brainwashed. I feel like that's kind of mean. But a lot of them are still buying into this opportunity and thinking that they can potentially be successful, and they're just trying their best, and they're trying to be honest and just work hard and put their head down. They're just trying to do their best. So I don't hold any of that against, again, most of the people in multi-level marketing. Most people, 99% of people in MLMs are losing money. So there's the top 1% who I think they know that their income is basically coming off of all of the people below them who are losing money. The rest of them, I don't know. Sorry about that. My storage is full, so I need to go through my phone and delete a few things, but probably for the best. It got me off of my long-winded tangent. Anyway, so let's move on. So my next experience, I started buying Zaya activewear, and I actually absolutely fell in love with it, and I still like it. See, like I said, it's not about the product or the people, it's solely the business structure. And I am heavily influenced by my older sister, who can just do all the things. And she makes everything look easy, and so she decides that she loves something, and then I need to try it. So she started trying Zaya activewear and loved it, so I thought, I'm gonna try it too. So she hosted a party. I bought a couple of things, fell in love with them, so then I decided to host a party. Mine, I don't think was quite as successful as hers, but I still got a few things advertised for her. And then it was maybe another year down the road. Well, I would get, the text messages. How's it going? Happy birthday. Here's a $10 off coupon. Hey, are you interested in hosting another party? And I had said, actually, yeah, like if I can get a bit of a discount on these $75, $85 leggings, sure, I'll host a party. So she kept asking me, but my life, I had just had baby number 3. My life was a whirlwind. So I kept saying, yeah, I'll figure out a time that we can host a party. And then she kept trying to get back to me and asking me if I could, which I know it's the name of the game. Eventually I just stopped responding. But I mean, I continued to get text messages and Facebook messages and Instagram messages from all over the place. So I'm like, okay, this is getting a little bit annoying. And this is kind of about when I decided that I was not really in support of multi-level marketing anymore. And so I had to block her on every front, and somehow they get through, man. But she does very, very well, and she is as sweet as can be. She's super successful, but the thing that bothers me is that they have to continue to recruit over and over and over again. They can't stop because they get a few people under them, train them up, and then they decide that it's not for them. They realize that there's nowhere for them to go, that they're never going to be up at the top. And so they get out, and then they have to recruit new people for them to stay up at their rank. It's just the way that it is. And I'm not saying that they're nasty for doing that. It's just the nature of the business model. And I hate it. So anyway, I think that I've mostly stopped receiving messages, and I think that I've blocked her and unfollowed and everything on most things. And I feel sad because I want to just love her and support her and follow her, but it's too much. Which actually reminds me of a crazy story. So when I was in college, I had a good friend, and his sister was a few years older than us, but she was just as sweet as can be. And she was a cosmetologist, and that's what I wanted to do. And we just hit it off so fast. And I loved her. I still do. Still think she's amazing, but we've kind of lost touch over the years. Well, anyway, I just fell in love with their family. A few years ago, I learned that their mom passed, and that was like so devastating to me. And I hadn't talked to either of them in a while. And at the time, she was selling rhododendron fields, and I was constantly getting messages that I just didn't respond to. I mean, to be completely frank, it was just way out of my budget anyway. Like, sure, it would have been awesome to have really nice skincare, but I wasn't about to spend $300 a month on a skincare regimen. Just was not, no, it was like so far out of my reach that I just never responded. Even the deals were just too much. So I never got back to her on any of that, but I messaged her and said, I am so sorry to hear about your mom. She was amazing. She's going to be missed. I hope you guys are doing well. Just sending my love. I don't know if it was the day of the funeral or at least the week that she passed. Later that day, I got a message from her that said, hey, just so you know, these are the deals that we're running. And that was so, so devastating to me, that she was grieving the loss of her mother and just the absolute worst time. And they make it sound like you have so much time freedom and you can work whenever you want. But the reality is you have to be posting and advertising and selling all the time. Okay, well, I'm going to share one more little story and then we'll be done for the night. The last one that was the most recent story was a friend of mine who has been part of Beachbody or Body for years. Apparently, she has been actually maybe not quiet about it. She would post about it on her personal page, but not ever like, at least from my perspective, not ever super like recruity or in your face about it. But when I learned that Body was moving to affiliate marketing, I guess, when I learned that she was one that was constantly posting about, I knew this could potentially happen, but I have put in so much time, growing my team, and it has supported our family, and which is great. I'm glad that it has been so good for her. But she was saying that, she was looking for another one to jump to, and that she needed it to line up with her values. And so people were naturally like, oh, come join this one. It's amazing. I think it'll fit your lifestyle and what you like perfectly. And a couple posts later, she said, okay, well, I actually joined the company that I'm with now. I actually joined them about a year ago. I could see the writing on the wall with Body, so I thought that I would just jump into this one and get going. But she never once in all of that said what company it was. And so many people on her comments too were, hey, message me. I have a great opportunity for you. But no one would ever say what their company was. That is like so insanely obnoxious to me, that they're so cagey about their information. And, oh, I need you to DM me if you want any information on what I'm doing. Like, they won't just come out and say it. That absolutely just drives me crazy. And then it's crazy to me too that someone will join an MLM, grow their entire business, their own business, and then this company in an email overnight, it's like, hey, we're not doing this anymore. Your company that you are the CEO of, right, is just ripped out from under you in a snap. And so they jump to another one thinking that this time it's going to be different. You are not your own boss. You are a contracted employee, and you may or may not get paid. And you can invest and spend all of your time growing this business of yours, and it's gone in a blink. So honestly, it just makes me sad. And the grass really isn't greener. They're all the same. They have varying compensation plans. They have varying popularity at the time, but they are all the same. Maybe a few different numbers, a few different slight variations, but they are all the same. And, one drops and another one pops up. I mean, they just continue to come, and people will jump to a new one because it's like a ground floor opportunity, and come with me because they recognize that they have to get in right at the beginning if they're going to be successful. I don't know. I just don't like it. It's just scammy. Well, okay, that mostly sums it up for my experiences, both selling and being a consumer. But I really, really would love to hear from you guys. So please, please, please send me an email. I would love to hear your stories. If you've had any encounters with multi-level marketing companies, whether you've been the consultant and chose to leave, or if you've been a consumer, or neither of the above, but you've been targeted or tried, sold to. I would love to hear from you. My email is in the description box below, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Anyway, thank you for being here, and I will see you next week.